Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to lesson 3 of our bead embroidery series. So today we're going to learn how to attach the beads, some basic stitches and basic techniques for attaching different beads. But before I do that, I just wanted to show you where I am on my cuff. So this is how much I've done so far, and I'm having so much fun. Absolutely love it. And I wanted to show you those of you who have the cuff and you want to get an idea of what it's looking like as you're doing it. You can take a clothespin and kind of clip your backing to the cuff, just like, kind of put it where the outline is, like that. I love doing this. This is so much fun. And then just kind of squish the edges down, and then you can get an idea of how it's, how it's looking. And I can't wait to finish it. I'm so excited. I love it. All right, so I'm hoping by showing this to you that it will inspire some of you that are on the fence to give it a try. All right, so grab some seed beads, grab some bugle beads, some drucks, some cabochon beads, grab your cup chain, just some rondelles, and we'll do some, basic stitches, and I'll show you some basic techniques so that you can get started. All right, so don't forget to like and subscribe, and please check the description box below the video for all information, all materials, everything, bead resources, everything that you'll need to know is down there. All right, so I'm going to clear this off and we'll get started. Okay, so I want to show you some of the stitches you'll be using in this cuff. So the main stitch we're going to use is back stitch, and I'm going to demonstrate that for you in a minute. And then we have some, like if you want to put some 8/0s on, you can put those on standing up with a little bead holding them on. Here are some bugle beads. The rondelles I put on in back stitch, only I used an 11/0 in between. Here's sewing on a flat back. You can add sequins. These are some of the 2-hole larger beads, so if you don't have a cabochon, you can just sew these on, and you will use them anyway, and you could just bead around them. Here's a pyramid bead. Here's a bicone. See all the great texture you're going to get by using these techniques? Here's a little daisy spacer. So let's just learn basic back stitch first, and then we'll do some of the others. So just grab a little piece of backing, and we can do some practicing here. And thread your needle with a couple of feet of thread. And then we're going to just put on a knot, tie a knot. So I'm going to double knot this. So I'm going to go through my loop once, I'm going to go through my loop twice. I like to put little knots in. You don't want to put a ton of knots in your backing, but these will disappear. And then I have this line drawn here just to guide me. Just going to come up through the backing, like that. And my knot's going to hold that in place. So I'm going to pick up 2 beads. Now we'll be using back stitch with a lot of 11/0s. However, I'm going to demonstrate with 8/0s just because I think you'll see it better. So I put on 2 beads. I'm just going to let them drop down, holding my thread. And then I'm just going to back them up a little bit with my needle. So see, I'm pushing on them just a teeny bit, just to straighten them out. And then I'm going to insert my needle right at the edge of that second bead. Going through the backing, like that. Okay, that's what it looks like on the back. Okay, now I'm just holding that bottom thread, and I'm just going to come up through the front of the first bead. So through the backing, in front of the first bead again. You don't want to turn it around and do it. You just want to feel. Use your hands and your fingers to feel where that goes, and you'll get it. So I'm coming up through the backing, in front of that first bead, and I'm going to just insert my needle through the 2 that are on. Okay, so I've just put that on. This is what it looks like on the back, right here. I'm going to pick up 2 beads. I'm going to drop them down to right next to the other 2. Just going to push them back with my needle a little bit. I just do that. Insert my needle right in front of that last one. So through. Now I'm going to go back 3 beads and come up through my backing. So I want to come up between these 2 beads right here. So I'm going back 3, coming up there. And just feel with your fingers where just like exactly where that would be. So there we go. See how I'm coming up through beads? 1 and 2, so I'm back 3 beads, going up, sewing through the 3. Pick up 2, so it's just going to repeat this. Drop those down. Just insert your needle right after that second bead. Then you want to come up through the back, go back 3 beads and come up right here. So I've gone back 3, I'm coming up right here, and then I'm going to just sew forward 3. Okay, so that's back stitch. That's what you're going to do all the way down. We'll do it one more time. Pick up 2, so picking up 2, sew them down, come up, go back 3 and come up the backing, feel for it, you get it, like that, and then go forward 3. And that's all there is to backstitch. This is what the back looks like. Sometimes your tail gets caught there. Let me just pop the tail out, give it a pull, and you notice how it's, I'm getting a pretty straight line there. So you just want to try and keep it as straight as possible, but there you go. That's your basic stitch. Like you can do the whole cuff in this and not add any other beads on. All right, so here I'm going to let you play with that a little bit, and then come on back and we'll demonstrate a few others. Okay, let's do the 8-0. So I've done the same thing. I've just put a knot in my thread. I've come up through my backing. I'm going to pick up an 8-0. I drop it down. I'm going to pick up an 11-0. I'm just going to go right back through the 8-0, like that. Just right through that same opening, and that will attach the 8-0. Now if you want to do several together, just bring your needle back up through the backing, about a bead's width, half a bead's width away, like that. Pick up an 8-0, drop it down, pick up an 11-0, go back through, like that. One more time. Come about half a bead's width away. Pick up an 8-0, and you have your 11-0, and then just sew through back through the 8-0. That gives you like these little standing up bits. All right, so go practice with that a little bit, and then come on back and we'll continue. Okay, so let's try some bugle beads. So again, I'm coming up through my backing. Just going to pick up a bugle bead, drop it down. So I'm sort of holding it up. Just going to put my needle through the top of the bugle, the top part there, in front of the bugle bead, just to tack it down. That. Now I'm going to come back up through my backing right next to where I tacked it down. So it's hard to tell on the back, but this is what it looks like. So I see where I'm coming right next to that, to where the bugle bead is. Put another one on. Pick up a bugle bead, drop it down, and kind of push them up together a little bit. Nothing's going to be absolutely perfectly even, and you don't really want it to be. You want it to be, you want it to be close, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, I'm going to come back up, so you're just alternating up and down. Pick up a bugle bead. You can put these anywhere they fit. Any of these techniques, you can put it wherever a bead will fit, like in little spaces. They don't have to be right next to each other. One, you could do like 2 and then 1 in the middle, or you can do 2 of these and then a third here, depending on what the space is. So nothing has to be in a line. Okay, so that's your whole bugle bead technique. All right, so play with that one, and then we'll come back and do some more. Okay, let's do some back stitch with rondelles. So I'm going to pick up, so again I'm coming through my backing, I'm going to pick up an 11-0 and a rondelle. I'm going to drop those down. So we're just going to do the exact same way we did the other back stitch. We're just using, you know, different size beads. So here, just going to sew in front of the rondelle, like that. Oops, a little pull, there we go. And then I'm going to come back up here through the 11-0 and the rondelle, just like that. Going to pick up an 11-0 and a rondelle, drop those down. Let's back it up a little bit with your needle. Insert the needle after that rondelle, just like that. Going to go back 3, so we're going to come out between this 11-0, the 11-0 and the rondelle. And sometimes, you know, it's like, am I ever going to find that area? But you will. So 11-0 and rondelle. And then we're going to go through the next 3. So it's the same thing, putting on 2, going back 3, going through 3. Do it one more time. 11-0, rondelle, sewing on 2, put your needle through, going back 3, so it's going to be in between this 11-0 and this rondelle, right there. So that's going back 3. Come on up, and go forward 3. That's all there is to it. Go play, and we'll continue. All right, let's go on to a flat back. So here's the sew on flat back. So I'm again coming through, just going to sew through one of the holes on my bead or on my flat back like that, and then I'm going to sew back through the other side of that same hole. Okay, so you see that? So I'm coming through like that, and then I'm going to sew down like that, and that's going to just tack that on. To pull, come up through the other hole like that. Sew this one down. Okay. And now how easy is that? So you have that one on. Super easy. All right, let's get that done and then we'll continue. Okay, let's put on some sequins. So coming through my backing, I'm going to put on one of these sequins. Now you can put the cup up or the cup down. I'll do the cup up. So easy. Pick up an 11-0. Just sew right back down through the sequins. So you're doing just like you did with the 8-0s. Going to pull through. You have that on. I'll put another one on. You want to move over enough so that you can fit your sequence in, the next one in. Grab another one. Come through. Pick up an 11-0. Come back down. Like that. Now you have a couple of sequins on. Alright, so those are your sequins. Now you can, I'm not going to do this, but you can do a stack of them by you know, like this one. So put several on and then the bead. Or you can just hold them sideways and put a bead here and a bead at the other end. Alright, so come on back and we'll do our last few. Before we get to the last couple of stitches, I just wanted to show you how to get the cup chain on. So, you know, I thought we would glue it, but you really don't have to. All you have to do is place it wherever you want. So here my thread is coming up through the backing. Just place it wherever you want. And so you're placing it right where, like, the thread is in between the 2 rhinestones, and then just sew down on the other side of that little center portion. And this first, just getting this first one on is everything. Now you can do anything. So see, it's on. You can curve it. It doesn't matter. You know, you can do anything. So I'm just going to come up again. So you can push them together if you like. You can leave them far apart. I just kind of let mine go and, you know, played with them a little as I you know, was attaching it. So then here I'm just going to, oops, come up again through in between the next two stones and then down on the other side. So easy. Like, this is the easiest thing ever to get this on. I have two on. You can curve it, make it in a circle, do anything. Just hold it with your finger and just keep thread over, and you're done. Okay, so easy enough, right? All right, so come on back and we'll do the last stitch. So let's work on getting this little cabochon bead down, or a pyramid bead. They're both flat on the back. As far as the bicone and the daisy spacer, you're just going to put those on like you did the 8-ohs right here. All right, so here I've come through my backing. Here's my bead. I'm just going to come through one of the holes on the bead, like that. Okay, and I'm just going to come down right through the other side. It's going to pop that bead into place. I'm going to hold it with my thumb, and I'm going to come up through my backing, right where the other hole is. Slide through the hole, and down through the backing again. And you can just come back, just come across and come back at the edge right there of the bead. If you have enough thread, let's say you're working on a project, and you can start putting little smaller beads around this. So this is so easy. This is really the easiest way to get sort of a cabochon on if you don't want to do a peyote bezel. All right, so there you have it. Some ways to connect your beads to your backing.